materials, resources, time. Yes, there is an awful amount of things that you need to take into account when planning your route, but there are also a number of tools that can help you. Like this one, yes, Spock's Club. A great way of using it, well, use it on your PC. However, if you're confined to a mobile phone, as I am, you might need to look for an alternative method. Come on, let's go do this the hard way. I'm Admiral Pegasus, and this is Star Trek Fleet Command. Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now, as you can see, I'm having a few technical difficulties. Yes, that's the third time that's come. Oh, here we go, number 4. But hey ho. Now, I'm looking at the road to 46, and unfortunately, I've got a long way to go before I can even start it. But the simple fact is, I've got some buildings that really do need upgrading to 42 before I can go anywhere. But I'm going to report that. But anyway, like I said, got a number of buildings that I need, and there are a couple of buildings here that I'm especially going to need for going to Ops 46. But we'll cover that slightly. Now, as I mentioned, we do have Spock's Club. It's a fantastic tool that we can use to check our battle logs, analyze our battles, and things like that. But it also can help you with working out what you are going to need on your path to 46, and it's a little bit more condensed and it's a little bit less involved than if you have to actually write it up. Unfortunately, I'm one of these that has to write it up because I do all my recording and my gameplay on a mobile phone. I do have a laptop, but it is extremely old and it can't do what I need it to do because it's not powerful enough. However, let's jump to that spreadsheet so I can show you the costs and everything. Now, please, as a quick disclaimer, these are all raw costs, and a big shout out to stsc.space, who is the other tool that I used to acquire all this information. So without further ado, let's get rid of that. Let's go. Now, as you can see here, this is literally the start of the spreadsheet. I've got all the way up to Ops 46, and then every single other building that I could think of at the time I put this spreadsheet together is done up to level 45. And as you can see, just by the top one, I'm looking at 14.9 billion steel just to do Ops 43. Well, I'll tell you what, let's throw a screenshot up here just to show you the cost that I am currently paying for just to do Ops 42. So, as you can see, what I'm paying is substantially lower in both steel, titanium and dilithium. And the materials are also a lot lower as well. But what's also big is the time. STSC.space tells me that this is going to take over 2 years to do. Well, I'm looking at 211 days. So that just shows you the value of efficiency. Now, what we'll do is we'll scroll a little bit down. I do apologise, it's not very big because obviously I'm literally recording my laptop screen, so to make it easier for you to read. Now, the numbers you'll see in red are actually just for the additionals, because as you look at the dry docks, I've included, let's go up a little bit. The dry docks, I've included all 6. Now, you don't have to include all 6, but I did. Because obviously you may have dry dock G, you may not. It depends on how you play your game. Then obviously you've got your defence platforms. Well, of course, we only have 5 defence platforms at Ops 42, so I've included them all because you will need defence platform E at level 44 at some point along the line as well. The generators are also going to be restricted to A and B because they're the only ones that you're pretty much going to need, especially when it comes to upgrading your warehouses and your vaults. Now, please bear in mind that you may need some of these to do some of the research as well, because there are bits of research that you will need to do on your path to 46, and I will go over that just shortly. So, right, So what we're going to do next is we are going to look at the total costs. Okay, so this is the total cost. I've made it into a little bit more of a colourful chart for you. And as you can see, you're predominantly going to need common crystal, uncommon ore, and rare crystal. Yes, they are basically the 3 levels that you are going to need. But of course, obviously, it spreads across the whole lot. And as you can see, gas is actually the lowest of them all. But it's still... they're still quite high. As you can see, without any efficiency research taken into account, it's going to cost you 842,000 common materials, 250,000 uncommon, and just under 133,000 rare. Now, if we move down to the next box, we'll see, including my efficiency research, how much that cost does actually drop. Now, it's not an awful lot to be put in the grand scheme of things, because obviously I'm only losing, well, my research is only cutting off around about 27.5%, leaving what you see here. Yes, this is exactly what you're going to need after your research has been taken into account. It's not enough. You've still got a quite high amounts. So just bear in mind that when you are actually planning your routes. Now, resources. As you can see, total 1.4 trillion steel. Yes, that is actually trillion, because the steel, if you remember from the main side, was done in the billions. There was a little B next to the words par steel. It's done in the billions. Now, obviously, we don't say 1,397 billion. We actually say 1.397 trillion. Yes. Now, obviously, I rounded it to 1.4 just to make it easier and less of a gobful. Next up is the tritanium. That is 26 billion tritanium. Yes, 26 billion tritanium. So, bear that in mind. And then dilithium is just under 3 billion itself. Now, again, take into account efficiency costs, efficiency research. As you can see, it's drastically cutting it. I'm straight down to 731 billion steel, 13.6 billion tritanium, and 1.5 billion dilithium. Well, I'm golden. I've got the dilithium already. The titanium, I've pretty much got already. The steel, however, I don't. And materials, well, I certainly do not have that. So bear that in mind. Now, obviously, if you can make sure that the vast majority of these are research ones are actually in tokens, in backstop, just on the off chance you're going to get raided, especially during incursions. So bear that in mind. Now, there are a couple of strategies on the road from 42 to 46, and we'll discuss them in just a moment. But let's have a look at the terrible news. Right, that is actually wrong. I can tell you that straight out now, that is wrong, because when I did this up, I originally included 46 for each one. Ah, that's why. So what's that? That is I-87. So let's just go back across and let's get rid of that little red box. Equals I-87 equals I-88 equals I-89. Okay, so they were just actually making some amendments. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so as you can see by the time here, let's get it in the middle. There we go. 64 years in total to do those buildings. Yes, 64 years. Now you can split that in half if you have the second builder, so that's around 32 years that you're looking at doing this. Obviously, take into account efficiency. What is left on the next line is only 27.5% of the time. Yes, a massive 67, hang on, I can't even do my maths now, 72.5% drop in time. Yes, that is a massive amount, but 17.5 years, you're still looking at an extremely long time. That's around about 8 3/4 years, 8 years 9 months just to do it if you're using both building slots. Now, I do have a couple of disclaimers, and I'm sure some of you have already read ahead. There are a couple of buildings missing from this. The refinery, which again is levels 30, 43, 44 and 45. Defence Technologies and Astronautics Studio, 43 and 44. And you're going to obviously require all of them just to go up to Ops 45. Now, there are some research that you'll need to do, as I've mentioned before. And the two that you're going to need is G4 Tactical Battleships Level 1 and Station Sabotage Level 1 as well. These can be found in the combat tree, but as well, it goes without saying, you will need to do the other research as well, just to get them. Yes, so bear that in mind. These are going to cost you a freaking fortune in dilithium, so please bear that in mind. So what we're going to do now is we're going to cut back into game, where hopefully that fault might have been fixed. Okay, so here we are back in game. I've just had to do a quick clear localization because I was still getting that fault. I have sent a screenshot over to customer support, and I'm also going to escalate it with the other content creators as well. Get this really expedited because I've got a funny feeling something's going to happen. Yes. But anyway, now that research I was talking about. Now, firstly, quickly, the buildings. Also, your Defence Technologies is here. You'll need to get that up to 44. And also, Astronautics Studio, again, up to 44. But as you can see, I also need the Foundry. Yes. So there's more buildings. Now, that list did not include all the buildings that you'll need to do. So please bear that in mind, that you will need to keep doing additional buildings. So please take that into account for your costs as well, because it's gonna shoot you in the foot if you don't. Now, the additional research, obviously you're going to find up at the top there in the combat tree, and then we're going to scroll across to the G4 stuff. Yes, which all starts with hull density. Yes, that's where it all starts. Oh, in fact, actually, it starts with this. Yeah, but as you can see, Science Lab 42 needed for this one. But I thought I'd got one of them, actually, but no. They need a special particle, so that's fine. So carry on. Now, here's your first one. Tactical Battleships. Yes. Now, I can't remember where this you'll need. I think you'll need this before like, Ops 44. But, yeah, you need to get that done. And look, and obviously it's just the research on the bottom line. However, it doesn't stop there, because you will need to go up and do this line as well for the interceptors, just so you can do station destruction, and then obviously move on to the Armada piercing and Armada defenses before you do the final one, which will allow you to go to Ops 46. You'll need R&D 45 for it, but yeah. So bear in mind all the extra uncommon materials that you're potentially going to need to unlock all these, if not the uncommons, and maybe potentially even rares. So just bear all that in mind as well. It might be a case of you don't need just one level for the lower ones, but that's to wait and see. But anyway, that's the road from Ops 42 to 46. There is a lot involved. 64 years, 1.4 trillion steel, 250,000 uncommon materials. It seems like a daunting task, but it is actually possible. As a free-to-play player, could you do that inside 12 months? Depends on your refinery, I should think. But anyway, there are various other things that you can use to help reduce the cost, reduce time. Not only the research, which you'll find in the station research tree, so like this one, and when you go up to G4, you will have this one as well. As you can see, that needs materials, uncommon materials there straight out. Yes, so please bear that in mind. What other ones we've got? I've got to do all of them. But yeah, so there are varying researches here. There is some research again in your territory tree, which is, let's have a look. Where are you? Efficient research, which reduces the material cost. Ops 40, as you see, I need battleship shields as well, so I'll be working on that. Efficient construction, again, I need R&D 44 for that one, so that's already as best as it's going to get. Then we've got some here as well: advanced research, optimized research, efficient construction, optimized construction. This is a resource reduction one, and this one is a time speed up as well. I think you've got some more in here. Yes, you have got rapid construction, so research speed, again another fast one. And I think that is it for that one. Yep, that's that for that one. So yeah, a lot of research, but we're not going to forget the last most important thing: Bajoran favors. Now, there are a number of Bajoran favours that you're going to need. So you got this one here, Bajoran Construction, which obviously improves your resource cost when it comes to buildings. Trade, again, it cost efficiency for buildings in materials, so that's going to also reduce it. What else we got? Now, when you get there, I also recommend that you try and get these. Is the Bajoran crystal ore and gas refineries, because it's going to increase the amount of payouts you're going to get from them as well. So that's all them. Let's have a quick look at all the boosts. Now, the construction, you're going to start off at 25% and top out at 100%. The materials trade starts at 10% and tops out at 30%. That seems really, really small in my opinion, but that's what it is. And then your refinery ones, which start at 50% and top out at 150%. So that just giving you that extra little boost in materials from them as well. Now, as well, you do have also this to increase your material stash. Well, obviously, this one requires credits. So if you're going after all those favours, not really worth going for yet. This one, which requires the diplomacy tokens, obviously this is going to be your best one, but if you're going after your Defiance as a free-to-play path, again, it's sat on hold for at least another 3 months. But it's all there. It's available for you to do. So I can't think of anything else that I need to add to this, but please obviously bearing in mind now, obviously in here I'm only... Oh, there's the rares. And some epics, so yes, you can build up, but it all is RNG based, so bear that in mind. I'll tell you what, I'm actually going to sacrifice some. It's not going to sacrifice anything that I need to do towards my Defiance, thankfully. Here's a couple of spare left over, but here we go. Here's the pull on this one. Wow, there you go. Wow, 25 epic crystal gas. Don't need that till after 46, but I can build it up ready. But there's the uncommon ore and gas. So that's a nice little bundle. Not perfect, but it will do. Anyway, that is my road to 46 and everything that I can think of to help you guys plan. Obviously, like I say, free-to-play players, you will need to plan. Plan. Yes. Those of you who are prepared to spend, thank you very much for spending and keeping us having a game to play. But as well, obviously, you guys will be flying through it like there's no tomorrow. So you could easily do 42 to 46 inside a year without a problem. Us free-to-play players, we may struggle, but we will get there eventually. Anyway, I've been Admiral Pegasus. This has been the Pegasus Show. All that's left for me to say is please smash the like button for the video and also subscribe if you haven't. Don't forget to drop any comments and queries down below as well. Also, if you'd like to donate to the channel, please feel free. I do have PayPal and I do have a Cash App. The links are in the channel's description, not the video description or the comments, the channel's description. So hop on over there to find out. There is also the link to my Discord, which is now a permanent link. Yes, I've with some help, I've actually sorted out a permanent link for my Discord in the channel's description. So hop on over there, click those links and come and join the fun. Anyway, I've been Admiral Pegasus. This has been the Pegasus Show once again. Road to 46. Stay safe, live long and prosper, and have a great day.